Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mampolo from Mampolo's Corner. Renee or myself. Guys, for those when they carry rumor when they don't know about, including Festus Keyamo and his cohort. Including Festus Keyamo, I want to Keyamo, I be Keyamo, Amo that they call him, I don't know for him. Including Festus Keyamo and his cohort. Say, Peter B was arrested. Why was he arrested in the United Kingdom? Can he tell us, can he tell the public why he was arrested in the United Kingdom? It's all right. Peter B is here now. I have brought him to Mampolo's Corner so that he will tell you the reason why he was questioned. You know, because you don't know the difference between being arrested, being detained, and being questioned. So that he will tell you one-on-one. This news not be new news, but I like to hear from the horse's mouth before you see say, I come here present news for you. And they like facts and figure. You know, they say I not be gossip mill. I don't bring news to come and do gossip mills so that it will trend. No, I bring news so that it will make sense and renew your mindset. Share the video to Festus Keyamo, make it a see. And all the APC cohorts, when they are against Peter Obi, thinking say, oh, they don't catch him, they don't arrest him, he's indicted. Are you people normal? For UK, now they go catch you for criminal thing, for criminal offense. They go allow you go. Who you be? Who you be? Even though they are Buhari then catch for UK, for Heathrow Airport, for criminal offense, it's going nowhere. If you think that I like, go and ask Ibori now, James Ibori. Or if you think that I like, go and ask Ike Kweremado. I just said they don't knock that one 10 years. 10 years for UK. Are you normal? You play with this country? He said he was suspected of something. Did he carry this? Did he carry this? Why was he arrested? What? Come touch, shut, quiet everybody. For those who never see where will they ask Peter to be questioned? What made them detain you? When they question you for Heathrow Airport? Peter be now. Come answer. Come make you answer us. Watch video.
But answers that should come from the man in the eye of the storm himself. Well, let's not keep his many fans and opponents waiting, because joining me now in the studio is the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi. Very, very delighted to have you here. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Mr. Charles, for inviting me.
And we know you've had a long day, because I saw you on the television at the Labour Day, the May Day celebrations earlier today, and you've gone from one meeting to the other, so we really appreciate your taking the time to talk to us. I like that. Now, there have been a lot of reactions trailing your apparent arrest in London by the British authorities. Some have said that you were being witch hunted by the APC, others that a petition was sent against you, and still others that you were being impersonated. Can you tell us the circumstances of your purported apprehension in London and what has happened subsequently, and sort of clear the air on that? Did you commit an offence for which you were being stopped?
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
One is, I was never arrested.
One.
I was never detained.
Two.
And I did not commit any offence.
Three.
I was stopped for a routine immigration check because there appears to be a duplication of my identity.
It's all right.
And all this lasted for maximum of 20 minutes. And I was treated in what I do with all due respect. Just, I lived in the UK in the 90s, say from 1993 until 2005.
I remember meeting you in London, actually, in that period.
Yes. Charles, not just that I lived there, from that 1993 till now is a period of 30 years. I have never been questioned, arrested, detained in any country in the world. I've never even been, for any reason, found myself in any manner being questioned for any offense. I've not committed any offense. So it was a routine immigration check. And it lasted, like I said, less than 20 minutes. And I was actually given all the due respect by the border personality that interviewed me, who told me, your identity is duplicated, be careful. And actually had to walk me through the, what I can call the VIP process and everything. And I have a written document from British government.
I've seen that document.
Go and verify.
To you.
Clarifying the
That he was never
situation.
detained, and it was just a few minutes question and everything. And they were Nigerians because I arrived on British Airways. So they were Nigerians who were queuing up. Even Woods here was even worried that I was asked to just wait for a few minutes. And when that happened, I explained it to them, and there was nothing. But it's been traumatized and everything because it's me. People said I was detained, committed an offense. People said even committed several offenses and everything. Oh, his company was closed. He wasn't paying tax. Charles, for the years I lived in Britain, never have I had any day been questioned. And I can say it, my taxes, my days were duly paid. In fact, most times they have been refunded me money for overpayment. I've borrowed money, I've done everything globally. Not one day did I default in any. If you find one default, then it's not Peter Obi.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that point about the arrest. And in support of the point you're making, I have seen the letter from the British High Commission making it ineluctably clear that it was no such thing. Nevertheless, as you said, there was a huge hullabaloo about that in Nigeria. I mean, was that a humiliation for you, or at the very least embarrassing that all this was being talked about you, and I mean, even the people who follow you were disappointed.
Charles, I would have made comment on it earlier, but these things happened during the, what I call holy month, where for me as a Christian, it was a fasting period and period of the Ramadan. And I felt it is not time to make comments. I only answered one question within that period when I was mentioned with treason, because I felt it's a huge offense. And because it was actually mentioned where it shouldn't have been mentioned. Other than that,
Right.
I just felt this is the clarification. And I've just shown you the letter.
Yes.
I won't go about telling everybody and showing everybody the letter.
Yeah, that is true.
It just showed you where we've taken our rascality to where people now come up with all sorts of things.
Well, some people said you were deported from the UK, but obviously not.
No, they said I was routine check and I was allowed to go.
Right.
They even saw where I attended churches and meetings and everything. But that's where we have reached.
But I mean, what sort of questions did they ask you when they took you in?
Nothing. I was there. Nobody took me to anywhere.
Right.
I was just in front of a counter, and I was asked a question, and they said, there's something wrong with your identity. There's something wrong with your identity. Just give me a few minutes, and that's it. And I sat there for a few minutes. For about 15 minutes, he came back and said, your identity is duplicated. And if my identity is duplicated, you've lived abroad as identity theft, duplication, which I would say must have originated from here. But
Well,
that's for another day.
Yeah, I'm glad you've clarified that point. But there's also another question being raised about whether you are a dual citizen. As you said, you lived in London for a long time. I mean, do you have dual nationality, either British, American, or elsewhere? Because I was reading somewhere that you were conferred with the honorary citizenship of Dallas, Texas in 2022.
Charles, you know what that means? It means nothing.
Yeah.
Even one of the presidential candidates said that it means nothing. It just shows that, okay, well, if you come into this city, you're welcomed. It doesn't even give you a visa. If you apply for a visa, it can't even help you for your visa application. It means nothing. Charles, I've never applied.
Right.
And I will never apply for citizenship of any other country.
Yeah, but
I'm a Nigerian.
Right. But
I believe in Nigeria. I lived in the UK for a period of about 12 years. I had a permanent stay.
So you were a permanent resident in the UK?
In fact, I have indefinite stay,
Right.
Definitely
which
to remain.
means I can stay there for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But when I left the UK in 2025, I went back to them and said, take your stay. I'm no longer having, and now go to the UK with visa.
And also to clarify the fact that even if you were a permanent resident, that doesn't make you a citizen.
No.
Well, I'm just telling you that even that stay, I returned
No.
it.
Right.
I have never applied, and I will never, as long as I live.
Citizen
My
come with
family
British
knows
passport.
This, everybody knows that I was born in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian. God created me a Nigerian. He would have made me an American, or a Japanese, or a British. But since he made it that I'm a Nigerian, I will want to live and die a Nigerian.
Nevertheless, Asari Dokubo, who is a well-known person from Rivers State, says he can prove that you are a citizen of the Solomon Islands, and that the conditions for buying property there is that you must be a citizen. What's
Asari
your
Dokubo.
reaction? Do you own property there?
One, I don't know where Solomon Island. I've never been such a place in my life. I don't know. I've never been there. I've no reason to go there.
Asari
Few
Dokubo.
places I've gone in the Caribbean, places like Haiti. I was in Haiti when they had the earthquake. I was a governor then. Everybody who is close to me knows that I've been to most troubled places in the world. So when there was earthquake in Haiti, I went to President Jonathan. He's still there. I said, Mr. President, I'm going to Haiti. They had an earthquake. I want to go and help them to rebuild. He was even surprised. He said, Peter, why? I said, that's what I've done all my life. I've been to most troubled parts of the world. As I'm speaking to you, Mr. President, I've withdrawn my son from school. We're going there to Haiti. And I went there. The High Commissioner then will tell you, I even met some police officers from Nigeria who were there, and they will tell you. I even traveled with some of the people who, Bob Manuel, who used to be one of the actors, he saw me and said, I'm going to this place to help them rebuild. And I helped them to raise money then, over $200,000. So I've been to Haiti, and I've been to Barbados. So other than that, I can't remember. I don't know where Solomon Islands, Charles.
Right.
I've never been there. I don't own a property anywhere outside Nigeria except in the UK where I lived.
Yes.
Other than that, any other place that there's a property in the name of Peter Obi, it is fake. It doesn't exist. And I don't need it. Why would I own a property where I don't live?
Well, I'm glad you clarified that point, but I'm afraid there are other things that need clarification. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohamed, recently called for your arrest, accusing you of treason. Do you see any links between your activities lately and any treasonable offences?
Charles is height of rascality.
Rascality.
Height of rascality. And it was even announced in Washington.
Lai Mohamed.
I committed a treasonable offense. And I'm in Onitsha. And my minister went to announce it in Washington.
Rascality.
This is what I'm talking about. We're not talking about wasting governance here. People don't want to understand. The amount it costs Nigeria for him to go and announce that in Washington can fix, I can tell you, I've been in government, can build a block of 6 classrooms in a primary school. I'm sure if you go to his village, there's so many places where children don't even have desks or classrooms to go to school.
Rascality.
And instead of using that money to go and do it, he used that money to go to Washington to announce of treason of somebody who is not a child. He doesn't need to do that. It is rascality of the highest order. These are the reason why we want a new Nigeria where things work the way it works in other clients. From there, he went to London, announcing the same thing. Well, I'm in Nigeria.
Minister of
Come
Information.
to see me or invite me.
Minister of
I said, this is
Information.
the offense. How did we get here?
Rascal.
Yeah, that's a good question, but I'm afraid it will remain a rhetorical question at the moment. Some of your followers, just moving on from that, who are known as obedience, have recently engaged in a sort of caustic exchange of words with Professor Wale Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, and he said that they simply don't accept any form of criticism. And I think it was around the time when he made the comments about fascism and your deputy, Yusuf Baba Dati Ahmed. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Charles Prof is a respected, revered personality in Nigeria and globally. And I've always respected him. And he's a dear father to me. And for me, I was very, very sad that there was such a change. Some of the obedience, I must tell you, or people they, mentioned that the obedience are not entirely people who are with us. The oppositions have also
Infiltrated.
come into it and are using it at times.
You mean other opposition
Other
parties?
opposition parties.
Right.
But that is not to worry about. But I was very sad there was such a change between a respected father but you have to understand this. These young people are people who have been so deprived by supposedly a system that is supposed to care
For them.
for them. They've been pushed to the wall. Even me, Charles, the way they even react when I say things. But I could see their pain. I could feel it. Because I live in the same system, Charles, that they are living in.
Guys, when I don't see the video, when I don't hear from our father Peter Obi, those when they say he was arrested, he was detained, people like Festus Keyamo them. Oh no, they talk like you're a lawyer. A lawyer who does not know when offense is being committed, that in UK they will never release you. Which kind of lawyer? Which kind of son are you then? Because it begins to this thing they make me the question on a lawyer and what do they call on a lawyer this thing or barristership. They make me the question now. You know what they call UK? You think say you're there for Abuja or you think say you're there for Lagos. If you misbehave here, they don't know whether you be president of another country. They go hold you. But I first started with I said go and ask Ike Kuremado. Are you people not normal? You for Heathrow. One of the toughest airports in the world. Now they say that they release you 20 minutes. They release you when you commit crime. I just want to come here, come help on at the bunga. For people who want no face touch Keyamo and his cohort, I beg share the video, give her, make it here. And I don't want to talk too much, guys. If you love what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, even on TikTok. All of my brothers can love you guys. Peace out.